National Energy Regulator of South Africa says it's investigating excessive gas prices. Concerns were raised with the regulator after one of its licensees announced price increases which were not approved by Nersa. It also says it's doing work to protect the South African gas industry as global prices continue to surge. Let's unpack this further with Nersa's Nomfundo Maseti, who is the regulator member responsible for piped gas regulation. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. So let's start off by identifying what's the maximum price that you've determined for gas, and just to make that accessible to ordinary South Africans, if we could bring that back to what the price should be for a 9-kilogram gas bottle. That's, I think, what many South Africans work with on a daily basis.
Good evening, and good evening to the viewers as well. The price that we have approved. In fact, we've approved prices for July 2021 until June 2022. And there was supposed to be a new price from July 2022 up until June 2023. So the price that was approved was 68 rands per gigajoule. It is not per kilogram. So even the price that was expected to be implemented as of July 2022, that price, again, it is a price that is between 68 rands and 70, I think it's 73 rands as a maximum. It's not the actual price. It is a maximum from which discounts are applicable.
And when these concerns were raised with you, what excessive increases did you see that licensee charging?
I must clarify that the prices that they are concerned about, they are not yet implemented. So this is just an announcement that was made in writing by the licensee concerned. And the price increase from what they were being charged is approximately 96%. That is the increase if that price that is indicated in writing is implemented accordingly by the licensee concerned. So it's quite a steep increase.
So what are you investigating now? And just would that increase of 96% be justified given the scale of the international pressure on the gas price?
First of all, the South African gas prices are not getting any pressure from international gas prices, because that gas that we regulate, it comes from Mozambique, and it is the pricing of it from Mozambique is based on a contract. And there is a methodology, obviously, by Nersa, because we are required to regulate prices in South Africa. So there is no influence, there is no cost that the South African gas supplier is subjected to or is exposed to. And so that increase would not be justified at all. The reason that the South African gas prices are exposed to international gas prices, it is because of the fact that when we regulate prices, we must regulate prices to mimic competitive markets. So we used a methodology that seeks to achieve a competitive price. And we use the average price determined in terms of the hubs internationally. But even so, it does not mean that we don't take into account the cost. In fact, our methodology does require us to consider cost and consider then the maximum itself, so that we can have a better sense of what the cost price margin is. And given this increase, then that increase is not justified if one considers the cost price margin.
Given your responsibility to protect the industry, that new pricing to be determined for July 2022 onwards, when is that likely to be done?
At this point in time, when we determine prices, we must use a structured and a transparent mechanism, which is the methodology. So we started a process a few months ago and we are consulting on that process of just refining the methodology, just so that we can cushion South African customers. And as recent as this week on Thursday, that methodology is going out again for the second round of statutory consultations, just so that the industry is comfortable with what Nersa will propose, and thereafter it can be implemented once the approval by the regulator has been done. However, even with the fact that the price that was previously approved, when it's calculated, it yields irrational outcomes, there are other avenues where perhaps the supplier of gas may approach the energy regulator, and we discuss how we can minimize, the increase or the adjustment on the price that was previously approved.
Well, thank you so much for that clarification. That was Nersa's Nomfundo Maseti speaking to us about gas prices and the regulation thereof.